Sovereignty. So what do you mean by sovereignty? Sovereignty is the ultimate political authority. There is nobody above this authority. So when you say India is sovereign, there is no other government above India. We are completely independent. We are sovereign within our territory. So government can take any decision within our territory. No other country can ask or question. For example, India revoked Article 370. But you can say that China and Pakistan raised issues over it. So India's reply was that we are a sovereign country. Neither of these states can question the internal issues of India. But before 1947, we are not sovereign. Why? Because we are a colony of the British. Why we consider India as a between 1947 to 1950 as a dominion? Why? Because even now we are working under the British law. Colony, no, you are not independent, and we are also not sovereign. Neither we are independent nor we were sovereign. Yeah. So who controlled India? British controlled India. So though there was an Indian government here, that was not the government chosen by the Indian people. That was a British who chose the government. That government. So that is why it was neither independent nor it was sovereign. Then you take on 15th August 1947. What happened? India got its independence. India got its independence. So became what? An independent country. But we had what? Dominion status. But we had so I'll tell we had dominion status because we are not working under a law brought by the Indian Parliament. Why? Because Indian Parliament, people have elected the representative, they have made a law, so that is supreme. But ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ law ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಯಾರು ಲಾ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಆ ಜನ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಯಾರು ನಮ್ಮವರಲ್ಲ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ತಾನೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಜನ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಸೊ ಅದು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಸಾವರಿನ್ ಆಗೋದು mind today any law brought by the Indian Parliament is made by whom? MPs. Who has elected these MPs? People of India. So that is why we say it's sovereign. But the government of India 1935 Act yaar madiddu? British Parliament. Who has elected them? The people of Britain. So that is being applied to whom? India. So we had an independent government. Even that independent government was working under a British law. That is why we call it as dominion. Then you take on from 26th Jan 1950. From 26th Jan 1950, India became completely sovereign. Understood what do you mean by sovereignty? Idu theoretical. Practical ಆಗಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆದರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ we cannot tell there is 100% sovereignty. ಅಂದರೆ they might be what are the limitations on the sovereignty. So India might have signed many international agreements. So ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಲಾ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬೇಕೋ ನಾವು ಹಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. We have to make those laws according to what is the agreement we have signed in internationally. So for example ಈ WTO ಅಲ್ಲಿ we have signed agreements called which is related to intellectual property rights, that is TRIPS. So your Indian to patent law irbodu, Indian to GI tag irbodu, it is all determined based on what? This international organization. Or for example, since we are part of WTO, we should allow other countries to their trade with India or allow their goods. We can't put very high taxes. Again, these countries can take India to WTO saying that India has violated the agreement. So theoretically this is sovereignty, but practically we say there might be limitations on the sovereignty. Or you can say you have the foreign direct investments, FDI. So we need more money or investments into country. Or tomorrow Indian government can go borrow a loan from IMF. Because IMF and the International Monetary Fund. What is the main work of IMF? To which countries? Those countries which are facing balance of payment crisis, POP ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಇನ್ನ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತೀರಾ. Balance of payment ಅಂದ್ರೆ when your dollars have completely declined and you don't have foreign exchange. Foreign exchange ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ. ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಆಯಿಲ್ ನ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Other things we import. So obviously you have to pay the importers ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರಿಂದ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. You have to pay them in dollars. You can't pay them in rupees. they won't accept in rupees. Except alla ಬೇಕಾದವರು ಇಸ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ. So usually if that fellow who is exporting to India, ಅವನಿಗೇನು ಬೇರೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ he won't accept in rupees. ಅವ್ನು ರೂಪೀಸ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇವಾಗ ಅವನೇನೋ ಯುರೋಪ್ ಇಂದ ಏನೋ ತಗೊಂತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ನೀನ್ ರುಪೀಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರುಪೀಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಸೊ ಡಾಲರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಕರೆನ್ಸಿ, ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಡಾಲರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಡಾಲರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇವಾಗ ಡಾಲರ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಗೆ? ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಸಾಲ ಪಡಿಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲ NRIs ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು ರೆಮಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ರೆಮಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದುಡ್ಡಿರೋ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನ ಅವ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಂತೆ ಆ ಡಾಲರ್ಸ್ನ RBI ತಗೊಂಡು ಅವ್ರು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ರುಪೀಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಡಾಲರ್ಸ್ನ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ರುಪೀಸ್ನ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಡಾಲರ್ಸ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರಿಂಟೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಕಂಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಇದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಡಾಲರ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಬಿದ್ದೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್. But they want to import oil, they want to import many things. They need dollars. So one way they can go is that go take loans, maybe from other countries or maybe from IMF. But IMF ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. They give something called as conditional loans. Conditional loans, and they put certain conditions where only if you accept those conditions, then they will grant you that loan. So their conditions many times might be related to economic reforms. Andre now they will give you direction that how you have to run your economy. So they might tomorrow say these loans will be only sanctioned if you sell all your public sector enterprises, privatize them, allow foreign direct investments into your country, cut down all your subsidies. So now the government is not completely run by that country. The IMF will start influencing their policies. So here we can say that your sovereignty gets affected. Means you might not be completely in control of your economic policies. So how IMF usually works andre, so for example if some person wants to get his daughter married, now he might go take loans from IMF. So IMF condition is that what will give you loan, but the condition is that we are going to choose the husband for your daughter. So you have to marry whom we show. ಸೊ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ನೀವು ಲೋನ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ 1991 ಇವ್ರು ಲಿಬರಲೈಸೇಷನ್, ಪ್ರೈವೇಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ತಂದಿದ್ರು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಟುಕ್ ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ IMF ಅಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಪುಟ್ ಬೈ IMF. ಬಟ್ ಯಾ ಇಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಔಟ್ ವೆಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ಬಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ಆಲ್ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಇಟ್ ವುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಔಟ್ ವೆಲ್. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳೋದು ಥಿಯರಿಟಿಕಲಿ ಸಾವರ್ನಿಟಿ, ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನಾಟ್ ಟೆಲ್ ನೋ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಇಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಸಾವರಿನ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್.